One. Hey, Mortgage Coach community, Dave Savage here, and today I have Brad Dale in Minneapolis, Minnesota. What's up, Brad?
Hey, Dave, how you doing? Good to be on with you. I'm excited.
Hey, it's good. It's good to have you. So, congrats on having a solid year. If you could just tell everybody a little bit about your mortgage practice, and just give an idea of how many leads you're getting on average right now. How many of those are turning into clients and families that you're helping with loans?
Yep. So on average, getting 1 to 2 leads, a day. All my business is really based upon referral. So it's coming in from a referral source, primarily real estate, realtor, it could be financial planner, past client. And so, on average, we're probably on a run rate to close about 82 loans this year. And on average, we're going to run somewhere between, 8 to 10, loans per month, sometimes a little less, a little more.
Good. Well, congrats on the success. That's fantastic. And, one of the reasons I wanted to interview you is I just feel like you are doing it right. You run this very high touch, personalized mortgage practice, local referral base, and then you're also leveraging tech really well. And I think you are executing the way loan officers need to, kind of going from old school to new school. So I think you're a great example of that.
Trying to.
Well, you're doing it. I mean, you're doing annual reviews. So you're delivering that service to client. You're leveraging mobile tech within your experience. So let's talk to folks about that.
Yeah.
Because, and by the way, when you and I were having our prep call, we were talking about the compression wars that are taking place, and you were saying that I'm not losing too many loans.
No.
So I mean, if you could put a little color around that in your own words, and then let's break down the tactics and strategies that you're doing so that you're doing all this.
Yeah. So I think really it's, in this experience economy, it really is about, experience, really bringing together emotion and logic together. Also really seeing that, the education phase, there's the transactional phase, which is all about, getting the deal done. But more and more people, as we know, are doing their research 6 to 18 months before. And so I'm very intentional about engaging people and retaining them in that educational phase and building that relationship with them, using Mortgage Coach, using the tech, connecting with them emotionally, then bringing that tech and that logic in and establishing our relationship based upon that. And that, my job is not to sell them a mortgage, but it's to help them make a smart decision, to get a plan in place. And then that really just, when we get to that point of rates and different things, obviously have to be competitive. We are, but it's really not about, hey, what's your rate and can I get the lowest rate and shopping me all over.
Got it. When we first started talking, you talked about the kind of the components, relationship value. I want to make sure, especially if the new loan officers in their first 18 months is listening to this, I want to speak to them, but I also want to speak to, the loan officers that, hey, they are getting rate shopped a lot, or their conversion rate is down this year. They may be getting the same leads or even more, but they're converting less into loans, or they're having to do just a crazy amount of pricing exceptions. So if you could just kind of speak to that paradigm of why you think your conversion rates are great, they're as good as ever.
Yep. It's really just, it's about relationship, and that's a big, word, but for me, really what it comes down to, it really is about connecting with them. So I really, whether it's on the phone or face-to-face in my office, I really try to sit down with people in my office. Probably 75% of the people I meet with, I'm sitting down within my office, or I'm having some sort of go-to meeting, video conference with them so that we're face-to-face, having relationship, and really spending a lot of time understanding their goals. What are your concerns? What are your fears? What are your goals? What do you want this to look like? And then really just becoming that mortgage coach, that guide, just to help them get from where they're at to where they want to go, connecting emotionally, and then bringing Mortgage Coach in, because it's by far the best tool I've ever seen for just the logic component. And when you marry those two together, as far as emotional connection and logic engaging the brain, it's all encompassing. It's just like, then they're like, you're the guy I want to work with, Brad. Let's figure out how to make this happen.
So I know you have like a why Mortgage Coach, and maybe you kind of just answered it. Yep. But why do you use Mortgage Coach as part of that overall experience and that platform for folks?
Yeah, my Mortgage Coach why is really to educate, bring clarity and confidence. because one of the challenges, is that people are wanting to buy the home, and people sitting on the fence, I believe anyway, is because they're not confident. They're not confident to step into this. Maybe the plan is not clear. Maybe they're not clear on their finances. Maybe they don't feel like they have the education that they need. So I feel a big role that I have for my strategic partners, my realtors, is to, when they send their clients to me, is to help them become confident that yes, they're going to move forward with clarity, with education. And sometimes it might be, no, we're not going to move forward. But that's also value to the agent, the strategic partner, because they don't want to be driving around, spending a lot of time with somebody who's not confident to, when they find the house, write up the purchase agreement.
Yeah, no doubt. And we hear all the time in today's market, a lot of inventory, and buyers, they don't want to pay too much.
Yep.
They want to pay enough so that their offer gets accepted. And in fact, I did an interview with Danny Harani. He was my guest on the Tuesday call yesterday. By the way, I'm going to put a link below. So Danny and team is just killing it in San Diego. And he talks a lot about this counter offer analysis. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I know when you and I talked, we talked a lot about how we use Mortgage Coach before the home's in escrow.
Yes.
And to get people clear and confident about making the right offer.
Yes.
So everyone, by the way, if you're interested in this topic, click below, How to Win with Rate Shoppers. We're right now in Q2 of 2018 in May, and the price compression wars are alive and kicking. So
yep.
check that out. But walk us through what you do. Like, let's do the in-office experience, since you have more than 50% of families come through that.
Yep.
How do you use Mortgage Coach in that experience? Do they walk out of your office with the Mortgage Coach app installed and kind of understanding how you deliver advice and clarity?
Yep. So again, someone comes into my office, it really is going through my Mortgage by Design process, and it's all about helping them feel safe. So because if our brains are going to engage and to develop trust, they need to feel safe. So it's about creating that safe environment real quick, which is just letting them know this time is all about you. I'm here to serve you. What do you want to get out of today's meeting? So this is most beneficial for you. So just put them in that safe environment, just ask questions, find out whatever that is for them. Okay. And then from there, I do have my specific process I go through and kind of share my philosophy a little bit only after I've really understood what they want to get out of the meeting today. And then from there, we circle back and make sure that's done. And so it really depends on the client. Some clients most definitely, if they're really analytical and maybe very engaged with tech, I'll make sure Mortgage Coach is up. It's ready to go. Every single consultation, my assistant Travis has Mortgage Coach ready to go, and we jump in and we use it, and that becomes the wow factor right there. Some people maybe not. Maybe there's a different system I use. But everyone gets a Mortgage Coach. They may get it delivered to them right after the consultation, but they need that experience. They need to download it, and they need to feel that as part of the experience. And then what I let them know is this is a live link. So whether we do it right in front of them or they get it right after they leave, is hang on to this link. And as you're out shopping for property and you find the ones you really like, send us that information. Travis will update it, current rates. We'll put the information in there. A big thing right now that's been really helpful is in this tight inventory, it's not just the list price. It's people want to know, so what's it look like if I go 5,000 over, 10,000 over? And so then we model that for them in Mortgage Coach. So when they're out there and they're trying to decide, well, what if I don't get seller paid closing costs, or I can only get 2,000 versus 5,000? We model that on the fly, and they're seeing that change, right in their mobile device. And, one agent said it was just so funny. It was like, we're trying to do this offer, this negotiations, and these people are just watching their phone, because we're giving this stuff to them live as they're putting through the negotiations. And that just gives people a huge peace of mind and confidence that to enter the market, and it keeps them very engaged with us. So we know what's going on, and it's building incredible relational equity. So to that point, when it comes time to lock in and talk about rates, rate shopping is really not, everybody cares to make sure they get something at a good rate. I mean, that's fine. That's human nature. But it's not this, hey, it's all about rate. It's just, I just want to make sure everything looks good. It does. We feel confident because of all the relational equity we've built with them before they even sign the purchase agreement.
Yeah, and just the value and clarity you're giving to them. By the way, Brad, I would love if you would forward me an example of one of your total cost analysis that's just that. Like they're getting ready to make the offer and assume that it's a buyer that's like, hey, should I pay asking price? Should I pay 5,000 more? Should I pay 10,000 more? I want put a link below. So if you're watching it in YouTube, there'll be a link below. If you're watching this in Facebook, we'll put a link in comments. And please, one of the things I'm hearing in the mortgage coach community more and more is how we're used during that offer process to help the family have clarity to make the offer that them and their realtor think they need to make to get the home. And more, I'm hearing, just a tremendous value proposition of a local referral-based loan officer. It's like, hey, I'm not only going to help you get the loan, I'm going to help you get the house of your dreams.
Yes.
And by the way, that's not easy in this market. It's everybody's competing with cash. They're competing with other buyers. They're competing with different purchase prices. So to be able to show up with confidence to pay what you and your realtor think you need to pay, there's a lot of value in that.
Yeah, I got an email from an agent just yesterday, I think it was, and his basic whole sentence was, "It's wicked out here." That was the email, So a lot of, I think our job really is loan coaches, mortgage coaches, loan professionals, is just to keep our agents pumped up and encouraged, And so we had breakfast today, and a lot of it's just just encouraging him, and thanking him, just really thanking him. I think Tim Brahim talked about it one time about, we don't maybe appreciate all the agents have to do, and they have to do a lot more than what we have to do. And when Tim said that, it really hit me because it's true, so just really just thanked him today for all the hard work that he's doing and driving around doing all that stuff. Because if there's no home, there's no loan. And so, it's tough out there, and just keeping them encouraged, but helping giving their clients these tools to keep them engaged in the market. I think it's just awesome. So that's why I love Mortgage Coach.
Yeah. Well, hey, let's wrap up around this topic. And this question is, your realtors, they appreciate you and how you deliver Mortgage Coach. They get it and they appreciate it. So that it's part of this trifecta of value. Buyers getting value. You're converting them from, lead stranger to client for life.
Yep.
And then the realtor needs to see that as something of value. How do you describe Mortgage Coach to the realtor? When do you describe it to them so that they see that as part of your unique value prop?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of times so for example, the pre-approval letters. So they want the pre-approval letter. We put the amounts on there, find out what price they want to go in at. It's modeled, like I said, it could be list price, could be these 2 or 3 different scenarios above. And then that is sent out, to the client, to the agent. They see that, so a lot of times the agents, they can click on it as well, see what it is, listen to my commentary, see the numbers. It helps them feel just very much a part of the process. And so, I'll just share that with them when I sit down in a meeting with them, pull it out on my mobile, show them what it looks like. They can click on it if they see it when they come in, because they're kind of training themselves on, on how to use it. And just having conversations through them, just through the normal course of doing business with them, really, is they see the clients use it, they can experience it for themselves, and they just know it's just a really value feature, that I can help them and their clients with.
How do you describe it? Just give me a little script. Like, I'm a realtor, and you're pulling out the app. Do you call it your total cost analysis? What do you call it? And just give us 30 seconds of what that sounds like if you were describing it to an agent.
Yeah. So just let them know this is a total cost analysis, and this is a great tool so that your clients are confident when they're putting their offer together to know what price and the way it's structured, so that they're putting an offer together and they feel really confident moving forward. The big thing I just really stress is just the confidence and just the awareness. They're just very aware, very confident of what they're doing. And the more confident their buyers are, the more likely they are to put them in the market and to help them write up a purchase agreement. So, it's all around confidence, Dave. Everything I do is just around, it's a great education, awareness, and confidence, so they're ready to move forward. Got it.
So first of all, everybody, I hope you got value from this. If you got a takeaway, like it, share it with a mortgage friend. If you're new in the mortgage business, using Mortgage Coach, like literally for your first loan makes sense. But let's just say you're old school and you haven't used technology at the point of sale. And Brad, what advice do you have for all the loan officers that are doing this for a long time, using their yellow sheet of paper, which by the way, it's fine. I still have a yellow pad of paper, but that's not my borrower experience. Yeah. And what do you say to them in terms of getting their tech game on and using Mortgage Coach? What advice do you have? And, why do you think some of them aren't implementing and actually, getting with it?
Yeah. So first of all, just do it. I remember something you said, Dave, I think it was Sales Mastery a few years ago around video. And it basically was like, I know you guys don't like video because you don't like the way you look and sound in video, but it's who you are and it's what you sound like. So get over it. And that was a turning point for me, Dave, because I was like, he's right. So I'm just going to do it. So I just dove in, started using it. And it's really what I'm going to encourage people. I know there's a little bit of behavior change. I had to go through that behavior change, but I am so glad that I've done it, and just encourage anyone just to get over that hump of that behavior change, because in this digital experience economy, if we're not interacting with our clients on a digital experience, we're just missing out because somebody else is, right? And that's what, it's not about even necessarily what the other mortgage people are doing, although it is, you're clearly going to win over that, but it's what people are expecting and are wanting. And if you engage them in that way, you're going to win. And to stay ahead of the game, you're either growing or dying in this business. And if you're not embracing tech, embracing Mortgage Coach, doing this, engaging people with video, my personal belief is just falling just farther and farther behind, which is why I embrace it, right? I got a lot of years left. I was an old dog. I've been in the business 25 years. I had to go through the behavior change, but it's awesome. I can't imagine life without Mortgage Coach, especially in this day and age. Can't imagine it.
And that's the other thing. Do you feel like it actually speeds things up? Because I think some loan officers, by the way, anyone who's done, 20 more, 100 total cost analysis, they're all like, it's a time saver. But the first 10 aren't. But could you speak to the time savings element of Mortgage Coach just to help push some folks over the hump?
Yeah, well, which time element, right? So at the beginning, okay, you can say, it takes me a little longer till I get really good at it, okay? But so it takes you a little longer at the end, but you're not fighting to hang on to the deal later. Where do you want to put your energy, right, would be the question. And so for me, I had to ask myself that question. Where do I want to put my energy? I'd rather put my energy up front, creating an experience, the total cost analysis, the video, capturing that client up front, instead of all my energy trying to fight and hang on to the deal and the rate shopping and all that. Separate myself early, put the energy there, and then not have to put the energy at the end. So my personal, it saves time, because it saves me time in the whole transaction, and if nothing else, just simply fighting to hang on to the deal or why they should use me versus somebody else. And I will spend, if it takes me 5 minutes longer, I'll spend that 5 minutes versus 30 minutes on the back end all day long.
Love it. Love it. And then I would just tell everybody on this call that you watch this, creating a total cost analysis, if you've got great keyboard skills and you're fast with tech, it's 3 minutes-ish. If you're not, it's 5. And I've never heard anybody where it's more than 10. So, I mean, we're talking about 5 to 10 minutes, which, by the way, most loan officers are spending 5 to 10 minutes, whether it's writing up emails, whether it's presenting, fee worksheets. You're spending 5 to 10 minutes, do it in the total cost analysis. So hopefully you got value. There'll be links below to the homework assignments I said. If you want to learn more about Mortgage Coach, there's links below. And Brad, super appreciate your leadership. I know the work you do at Cherry Creek helps a lot of other loan officers get on board. So thanks for being a leader in the community, and really appreciate you doing this interview for the entire Mortgage Coach community.
Yeah, well, my pleasure. And thank you, Dave. Because, Dave, if it wasn't for you, all your hard work and dedication, we wouldn't have this great tool. So thank you, my friend.
Right on, man. Thank you very much, brother.